Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. Today I'm talking about my experience moving overseas, why I did it, when did I do it, what was the situation like, and what I learned, because trust me, I learned a lot. So let's just jump into the video. So almost 3 years ago I was about to graduate from my master's studies in Portugal, in my home country, Portugal, Lisbon. And I studied business with a major in marketing, and I knew I wanted to go abroad to start my career. I always knew ever since I was a child that I would live abroad someday, and I just felt I had like this calm inner reassurance that I was going to start my career abroad. So I just looked, and because I'm from Europe, I decided that I wanted to be in Europe because it is very easy to go to travel back and forth to see your family. You don't need a visa and so on, like European Union. And so I decided that I wanted to be in Europe, and I applied a lot. I interviewed a lot for several months. I went back and forth into the different countries to interview until I finally got an internship opportunity in Germany, Munich, where I currently live. And I moved here in September 2017, and initially it was okay. It was not amazing. I think it only started to be like amazing when I got my something that I considered to be my permanent residence, like somewhere that I could stay for at least 1 year. Because when you move to a high demand city, it can happen that you do not get your, let's say, a permanent residence right away. You may have to move around, stay in some places for a month and other places for a week, because there's a lot of demand, not a lot of supply, for nice apartments with good prices in the center of the city, in high demand cities such as Munich. In any case, that's not what I want to talk about in this video. I want to talk about my personal growth experience with me moving abroad, because I do feel like I grew so much. I'm such a different person than what I was when I was back home, not because I want to be different, but because I'm freer. So the thing about moving abroad is that you get a clean slate to be whoever you want to be, because no one knows you, nobody expects anything from you. So with this, I don't say, and I don't mean that I'm a different person than what I was. I just mean that I was free to finally be everything I wanted to be and everything that I was already, without fearing judgment from others, without thinking about what others expect me to do, because it is what I've always done. And then there's no fear for you also to try new things that you maybe wanted to try, but you thought that you would be judged or looked down on for trying. So it's more like you don't have to think about feeding whatever people are thinking about you, because people do not know you, so they do not think anything about you. Another thing that I found that was honestly key for my development here, a bit strange at first, but in any case, was that you have a lot more gray time. What is gray time? Gray time is time that I found that it is usually time that I would spend with my family, or like time that you would spend busy with things that you cannot avoid, let's say. So that's, let's say, time with family, I don't know, Sunday with family, dinner with family, lunch with family, like the mandatory girls' night out on the weekend, I don't know, something like that, that you usually do not think about because it is not optional. And when you live abroad by yourself, it's empty. You have all of a sudden a lot more time. Yes, you do have a lot of international cool friends, new friends, that are always willing to go and do things and that are like on the go and so on and so forth. But everyone is dressed and everyone also likes to chill by themselves. So I found generally that I had a lot more great time. And that, coupled with the fact that I don't have to fit to anyone's expectations of me, because nobody really knows me from my childhood or anything, really allowed me to think that everything is possible for me. Like, I can do literally anything that comes to my mind. Somehow, when I was at home, I had this, I can only do so much of what is already expected from me and allowed from me by my friends, society, people that I don't really like but that I grew up with, like, this is everything I can do, because this is everything that I'm expected to do and allowed to do, without seeming strange, without looking strange. But here I had time, availability, and willingness to do things that I never thought I could do, even though I wanted to. For example, starting a YouTube channel and broadcasting myself and my crazy ideas to the world, and starting a business. Wow, crazy thing, right? I mean, I always wanted to start a business, but somehow I was afraid. And here, why am I not afraid if I cannot understand what people are telling me? I don't know, it's a crazy thing. I think it is because ultimately there's just something about being out of your comfort zone already that makes you comfortable with being uncomfortable, if that makes any sense. Overall, with all of this experience, I feel like I grew a lot and that I am a much more confident and sure of myself person. I found that before I tended to people please a lot, and this is something that I still have the tendency of doing, but I am trying to contradict when it doesn't serve me or make me happy. Also, when you live in a place where you don't have your family support to, I don't know, move, or someone that you can always go to and meet that will make you feel comfortable, that the language is foreigner, so you go out there and you do not, like, you cannot freely express yourself, talk to anyone like you would at home. I think you develop a much thicker skin and higher emotional resilience, which makes you way less sensitive to stuff overall, which is great if you're trying to do stuff that will most likely be out of your comfort zone. But overall, I would say that my experience has been positive. Yes, very challenging at times. Yes, there were tough times for sure, but very positive experience, and I would advise anyone to give it a try. If this is something that is calling for you and that you feel like you would like to do in your lifetime, just give it a go, give it a shot. Make sure that you can revert it if you would, like to, or if you would perhaps find that it is not for you, that's also okay. But do it, give it a try. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, please do not forget to subscribe and like this video if you want to see more. And we see us in 3 days for another one. See you next time.